By the end of this video, you will know how to do backsplash yourself, I promise. Today we're in our laundry room and we are doing a hand-cut Moroccan zellige tile by Riyadh. This specific tile is very porous, so you do need to soak it in water before installing it, and that basically keeps it from drying out the thin set once you do install. As the air was coming out, it was making this crazy noise, no idea how. Once all the air bubbles were out, I set them on a towel to dry out for just a minute and then prepared the first row of tile. So I used a laser level just so I knew the first row was square, so everything would be square on top of that, and then I got a 1/4 inch square notch trowel and type 1 adhesive. I like using this pre-mixed adhesive just so I don't have to go mix the mortar, it just makes things easier. Now if you've never used a trowel, you are just going to put the thin set or the adhesive on just like this. This is going to ensure that your tile has a really great surface to set on, and you want to make sure to back butter each piece of tile, which just means scraping a little bit of that adhesive on the tile as well, so then you have full coverage and it gives us the best stick. Because this particular tile is hand cut, you're not going to be using any spacers. It's a reason that I love it, but it also just looks very unique because the edges are imperfect and it gives it a really cool look. Now I know we're moving really quick, but it's just rinse and repeat. You put the thin set in place, press the tile in, and you just keep going. Now depending on the layout of your backsplash, you'll definitely have to make some cuts around outlets and probably the top row. So you're going to want to get a tile saw for that, or you can use anything that has some kind of tile cutter. Now as I was going, I continued to just wipe the tile down with a microfiber rag, and that's what keeps them nice and clean to prepare for grout. I let that dry for about 24 hours and get nice and solid, and then I started to grout. If you don't know what grout is, that's what goes between the cracks. Now a lot of the times if you have spacers, you have more room for grout to go through, but because these are nice and tightly stacked, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time using a grout float, which is what that's called. I just used my fingers and it honestly worked a lot better. I put some gloves on and just kind of rubbed it in between the cracks, and then I would get a sponge and wash it out with water and just keep wiping it until they became completely clean and shiny. In the next few videos, you'll see the whole process sped up. So I'll put the grout in with my fingers, then I'll come back in with the sponge and just keep wiping it until it is clean all the way and nice and shiny. Honestly, grouting is one of my favorite parts because it really gives you that finished look. Now I know there are multiple ways that you can do backsplash, but this is how we did it for this specific kind, and I think anyone can do this themselves. If you want links to all of the products and tools we used in this video, I put them on our Instagram highlight, which says backsplash. That highlight also goes really into detail on this entire project. We still have to add some decor and lighting where those wires are, but we're so excited with how the backsplash looks. What do you think?